Hello, Oracles. Well, what can we expect from the market this week, the week of February 17th, 2025? Well, we're expecting a bunch of more winter weather here in New England, so it's been kind of wild. This morning I was shoveling ice and snow. It was not very fun. Definitely was not having a good time, but it got done, needed to get done, and it was my exercise for the day, so I'll take it. We've got another storm possibly coming in this week. We'll see how that goes. Now, when it comes to the market, we have a short trading week this week. We've got President's Day tomorrow, so we are going to have the market being closed tomorrow. And then we've got 4 days of the market open. We do have some earnings still coming around. Nothing major this week, but we'll get into what earnings are out there this week. And then we have a few Fed members that are coming out to speak as well. So there's not a lot, at least that we can see right now, that's going to be moving the market one way or the other this week. But we also have President Trump, who is still in his first 100 days in office, and he's been throwing out a lot of different executive orders and things like that that could definitely affect the market this week. So let's get into what we have for earnings going on. All right, so because we have the markets closed on Monday, there aren't going to be any earnings. So earnings are going to be starting on Tuesday. Before open, we're going to be getting Baidu coming out. Now, there's a lot of big names that have been investing in a lot of these Chinese market stocks. People like Michael Burry have been dumping significant amounts of money over into China. Now, China has been kind of beat up over the last couple of years. They've been going through similarly what we saw here in 2008 and 2009 with the housing market crisis. Now, if you look back, that was an amazing buying opportunity during that time. So does that mean that China is now going to be a great buying opportunity? Well, that is totally up to you to make that decision whether you want to get into that market or not. It's different than what we have over here because of a democratic capitalistic society. Over in China, they can just make up rules whenever they want and change things. For instance, if they decided that one day Baidu, they didn't want to be out there as popular as it is, and they wanted to keep the stock for themselves, they could just completely shut off trading all they want. There's different rules over there. Now, I don't think that they would do that, especially in the economic condition that they're in right now, but that is a potential concern that people need to have on their mind before they invest over there. Now, I do think for swing traders like my father, could be a great opportunity. Baidu, we're going to see that Baba is coming out with their earnings later this week as well. So I think that could be a good opportunity. Whether it's going to be a good long-term play, I don't know. It's not a market I want to get into myself, but it's definitely something to look into if that's what you're interested in. After close on Tuesday, we have Occidental coming out. That, of course, is one that Warren Buffett has been buying heavily over the last few years. He even added more to his position in this last quarter when he filed his 13F. So looking at Occidental, I own that one myself. That is the only oil play that I own. I did have ExxonMobil and I sold it off. Occidental, I'm going to be holding on to because honestly, I think that the stock is going to be coming around. And if Warren Buffett sees some good potential in this company, I will be adding to it myself as well. Now, I don't recommend just buying anything because somebody else does, even if it is Warren Buffett, but I trust him when it comes to the oil companies because he has done very well with those. Now, on Wednesday, before open, we have Wingstop and a few others coming out. Again, nothing major on Wednesday before the market opens. And then after the market closes, we've got Toast, Vimeo, and we've got Cake. So again, nothing huge, but there's some here that, some popular investors and people on YouTube definitely talk about. So those are coming out after close on Wednesday. And then Thursday, we have the biggest ones that we can see for the week. We've got Walmart. Now, the big one about Walmart is we can get an indication as to how the retail consumer is feeling. Now, when you look historically, you would think, well, if Walmart is doing well, that means the economy must be doing well. Don't forget that Walmart sells a lot of discount goods that are out there. So typically, if Walmart is doing better, that means that there's more people who are shopping over at Walmart, meaning that the consumer might not be as strong as we think. So that's one to pay attention to on Thursday before the market opens. And then, as I said, we do have Baba coming out. That's another big one that is over in China. And then we've also got Unity Software. And then after close on Thursday, we're going to have Rivian coming out, and that could give us an indication as to what is going on when it comes to Tesla. Now, Tesla already had their earnings, and I do believe the entire automotive market is going to be facing some struggles this year. So is Rivian going to be facing similar struggles? Is their partnership with VW going to be continuing to go stronger? What information can we get from them as far as what we can see for the entire automotive market this year? And then we also have Vici Properties reporting earnings Thursday after close. Vici Properties is one of the REITs that I own, and I love Vici Properties. It's one of my favorites. I've got Vici, I've got Realty Income, and I've got PLD Prologis. So those are the three REITs that I have, and Vici is one of my favorites of them. And now looking back at the Fear and Greed Index for the week, I had said it before, we've been kind of tipping between extreme fear, fear, and neutral, and then bouncing up and down. And we really haven't gotten into greed territory since last year. And so it did tip into neutral on Thursday and then pulled back into fear on Friday. So currently we're sitting in the fear range, and this is something that I'm just kind of paying attention to as to what's going on in the market. Now, again, Fear typically is when you can say that is a good time to buy, but I would still be cautious at buying. For me, I'm just nibbling. I'm just buying regularly. I don't want to stay out of the market, but I definitely want to have a lot of cash and cash flow coming in to be able to take advantage of any opportunities we see coming up. And if you run right down all of them, we've got market momentum at neutral, we've got stock price strength at fear, we've got stock price breadth at fear, we've got put and call options at greed. That means that there's higher volatility expected. You're looking at the volatility index, which is in neutral, and then you've got the safe haven demand at fear. And finally, junk bond demand at greed. And so then looking at the economic calendar for this week, again, as we said, we've got President's Day on Monday, so the market is going to be closed. We've got Patrick Harker from the Philadelphia Fed speaking on Monday as well. We've got the Fed governors speaking on Monday. On Tuesday, we've got the San Francisco Fed President Daly speaking. We've got the Fed Vice Chair speaking on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we get the minutes from the Fed's January FOMC meeting, and that definitely can move the market sometimes historically. I don't know how much it's going to move at this time, but we could get better detailed insight as to what the Fed was thinking about how the future could be going for the year when it comes to what they're going to be doing for rate cuts. And then Wednesday, we also have Fed Vice Chair Philip Jefferson speaking. And then on Thursday, we get the normal initial jobless claims as we get on a weekly basis. And then we've got two more Fed members speaking on Thursday as well. And then on Friday, we have more Fed members speaking, and we get some existing home sales and consumer sentiment final report. So overall this week, there's a lot of different things, especially with all the Fed members coming out to speak. Some are more hawkish, some are more dovish. Could be something that could move the market one way or another. I think the Fed minutes are going to be the biggest thing that may be moving the market one way or the other this week. And then I'm really going to be paying attention to what's going on when it comes to the Walmart earnings, because again, like I said, that could give us that indication as to what's going on with consumer sentiment, consumer health. And for me, I'm looking at the fact that I'm trying to figure out what domino is going to fall. I still think that there's an underlying issue that's going on, and the market is not kind of fully recognizing it right now and just keeps on pushing up. And anytime we get some sort of negative data that comes out, we may sell off a little bit and then we reverse and then continue to go back up again. So to me, it just feels like that's a little unhealthy when it comes to the market. And it seems like that there's a lot of things that are going on that we still haven't fully gotten situated yet. For instance, the Fed is still not cutting rates at the rate that we thought that they were going to be cutting them at, because there's some concerns with unemployment still not coming down. It's not at a bad level, but it's kind of stuck where it's at. Inflation has stuck. It has not come down. It's actually gone up based upon expectations over the last month. So a couple of these things are still out there that are uncertain. And then consumer debt just continues to keep on going up. And eventually, I think that's going to be the piece that breaks us. So again, if we're looking at Walmart having very strong earnings coming out on Thursday, that gave us an indication that the consumer really is getting more and more strained, and they're spending more money at the Walmarts of the world than going out and spending money in other places. Now, we'd obviously have to check other earnings for those as well to see how those other places are faring. But that's kind of the piece that I've been paying attention to. And you're looking at JP Morgan has announced a whole bunch of layoffs that are going on. With Doge taking a look at the federal government, we've got about 200,000 layoffs coming up from the federal government themselves. So there's still a lot of layoffs that are going to be going on, and there's not a lot of hiring that's going on out there. So a lot of people are going to be losing their jobs to not have jobs to go to afterwards. So this could be a concern. And now looking at the timing of things when it comes to the Fed, there's a lot of people who ended up taking that deal that they were going on so they can get paid through September. That'll give them an opportunity to maybe go out and find themselves another job. And if not, they're still going to at least get paid through September. But if we don't have the jobs market expanding by then, when September hits, now we're going to hit a point where these people aren't going to have jobs and they don't have that income coming in anymore. So that's another concern that we could be paying attention to at the end of this year. So just still really paying attention to a lot of the layoffs that are continuing to go on, because the more layoffs that are going on and the less hiring that's going on means that there's going to be even more consumer credit card debt, because more people are going to have to put things on credit card because they don't have the money coming in from a job. So this is just the piece that I'm paying attention to as time goes on, because I think that's the piece that's going to end up breaking us. But again, I'm just preparing myself for all of this. I don't know if it's going to happen. I hope it doesn't happen, but I have this gut feeling telling me that something like that is going to be transpiring over the next 12 months. So we'll see if that actually plays out. But you guys can let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think is going to be happening in the future? Do you think we're going to see something pop and we actually get ourselves into a recession? Or do you think we're going to be able to get this soft landing and recover and then come out stronger without getting into a recession? That's all I've got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support. Have a great one.